They told us it was impossible. You have to pick one between stealth or speed. For 50 years, every engineer believed it. Every military accepted it. Then Boeing built something that shouldn't exist. The F-47 flies at Mach 2 while staying completely invisible. And the technology inside? It changes everything we thought we knew. Let me explain why this matters. When the F-117 Nighthawk first flew in 1981, it revolutionized air combat, an aircraft that could penetrate enemy airspace without being detected. But it came with a cost. The Nighthawk was slow and unmaneuverable and required constant maintenance. Its angular surfaces scattered radar waves, but those same surfaces created aerodynamic drag that limited its performance. The F-22 Raptor improved on this. Smoother surfaces, better coatings, super cruise capability at Mach 1.8 without afterburners. But even the Raptor couldn't escape the fundamental trade-off. Push it to maximum speed and you're choosing raw performance over stealth sustainability. This is the physics problem that has defined stealth aviation for 4 decades. Radar-absorbing materials work by converting electromagnetic energy into heat. That's how they prevent radar waves from bouncing back to enemy receivers. But at supersonic speeds, aerodynamic friction generates extreme temperatures across the aircraft's skin. Those temperatures degrade the very materials that make the aircraft invisible. It's a paradox with no solution, until now. The F-47 approaches this problem from an entirely different direction. Instead of applying stealth coatings to the aircraft's surface, Boeing integrated radar-absorbing materials directly into the composite skin during manufacturing. The Air Force calls this baked-in stealth. No seams, no gaps, no maintenance crews spending 16 hours reapplying coatings after every mission. The stealth capability is structural, not superficial. But that's only half the solution. The F-47 features an entirely new approach to thermal management. Reports indicate the aircraft uses a liquid cooling network embedded within the airframe itself, similar to how a high-performance computer dissipates heat but scaled to an aircraft traveling at twice the speed of sound. This system doesn't just protect the stealth coatings, it channels heat away from critical surfaces before temperatures reach damaging levels. The result is an aircraft that can sustain Mach 2+ speeds without compromising its radar cross-section. But Boeing didn't stop at radar. Modern air defense systems don't rely solely on radar anymore. They use infrared sensors that can track aircraft by their heat signatures from hundreds of miles away. The F-22's hot exhaust plume is visible to these sensors even when its radar signature is minimal. The F-47 addresses this with what the Air Force describes as all-aspect broadband low observability. Traditional stealth aircraft are optimized to evade detection from specific angles, usually head-on where they're most likely to encounter enemy radar. But their signatures increase when viewed from the side or rear. The F-47 maintains its stealth profile regardless of viewing angle. Front, back, sides, top, bottom, the radar cross-section stays microscopic from every direction. General David Alvin, Air Force Chief of Staff, confirmed this capability when he stated the F-47 will have significantly more advanced stealth than 5th-generation fighters. The Air Force's internal designation for this capability is Stealth++. That's not marketing language. That's an engineering specification indicating performance levels beyond anything currently operational. None of this would be possible without the most revolutionary component of the entire aircraft, its engines. The F-47 will be powered by adaptive cycle engines, either General Electric's XA-102 or Pratt & Whitney's XA-103. Both completed detailed design reviews in February 2025. Both represent a fundamental breakthrough in propulsion technology. Here's the problem with traditional jet engines. An engine optimized for fuel efficiency, high bypass ratio, and cooler exhaust produces less thrust. An engine optimized for raw power, low bypass ratio, and maximum thrust burns fuel at unsustainable rates and generates massive heat signatures. For 60 years, designers have been forced to choose range or performance, efficiency or power. Adaptive cycle engines eliminate this choice. These engines feature a third airstream that can be opened or closed in flight, allowing the engine to literally reconfigure itself between modes. When the F-47 needs to cover vast distances across the Pacific, The engines optimize for fuel efficiency. This gives the aircraft a combat radius exceeding 1,000 nautical miles, roughly double the F-22's 590-mile range. When combat begins and the pilot needs maximum performance, the engines reconfigure for thrust. Instantly, the same aircraft, the same mission, two completely different propulsion configurations. This solves one of the biggest strategic problems facing American air power. China's military strategy relies on pushing U.S. forces far from their bases using long-range missiles specifically designed to destroy American airfields and carriers. With the F-47's extended range, American jets can operate from bases those missiles cannot reach. But the engines provide another capability that may prove even more significant. They generate massive amounts of electrical power. Megawatts, enough to run a small town. Why does a fighter jet need that much electricity? Because the F-47's weapons aren't limited to missiles and bombs. Declassified Air Force documents from 2014 to 2016 confirm that directed energy weapons have been a core NGAD requirement from the beginning. A laser weapon doesn't run out of ammunition. It doesn't need to account for gravity or wind. It travels at the speed of light. An F-47 equipped with directed energy could theoretically engage dozens of incoming missiles without returning to base for rearmament. The adaptive cycle engines make this possible by providing the electrical power these systems require. But the F-47's most revolutionary capability isn't a weapon at all. It's the ability to control an entire squadron of autonomous combat drones from a single cockpit. The Air Force calls these Collaborative Combat Aircraft, CCAs. Two designs are already in flight testing: General Atomics YFQ-42A and Anduril's YFQ-44A. These are the first unmanned aircraft in U.S. history to receive fighter designations. Each F-47 will control between 2 and 8 of these drones simultaneously. They carry weapons, they conduct reconnaissance, they jam enemy radar, they engage in combat. The pilot doesn't fly these drones manually. The F-47's artificial intelligence processes data from the jet's own sensors and all accompanying drones and satellite feeds in friendly aircraft. It analyzes enemy patterns and predicts their movements and presents options to the pilot in milliseconds. One pilot, one F-47, up to 8 armed autonomous wingmen. The Air Force plans to acquire 185 F-47s and over 1,000 CCAs. Do the math. That's not a fighter squadron. That's a networked Air Force controlled by fewer than 200 pilots. The F-47 has been flying in secret since 2019. For 5 years, while the world debated whether 6th-generation fighters were even possible, Boeing was testing one. Hundreds of flight hours, thousands of engineering man-years, all classified. In September 2025, General Alvin confirmed that production of the first F-47 has already begun. First flight is targeted for 2028. China publicly flew its J-36 6th-generation prototype in December 2024. Some analysts claim Beijing is ahead, but here's what those analysts don't know. They don't know what the F-47 actually looks like. Air Force Secretary Troy Mayink admitted the released renderings are intentional misdirection, designed to waste Chinese intelligence resources analyzing decoys. They don't know its true capabilities. President Trump stated that revealing the price would give away some of the technology and some of the size of the plane. They don't know what's been proven in 5 years of classified testing. What we do know is this: the F-47 was designed to do what physics said was impossible: stealth at supersonic speeds, adaptive engines that switch modes in flight, AI systems controlling drone swarms, directed energy weapons powered by revolutionary propulsion. The rules of fighter jet physics weren't suggestions. Boeing broke them anyway. Is this the aircraft that secures American air dominance for the next 50 years? Or will China's rapid development change the equation? Subscribe for more fact-based military analysis.